Hello, I'm Kevin Honeycutt, and welcome to this episode of Raising Digital Kids. Today I want to talk about designing digital legacies and what that means, but give me just a second here. I tweeted it. Twitter. Have you heard of it? Are you paying attention? What is Twitter? Well, it's part of a digital legacy because everything I tweet on Twitter is Googleable. Which means it's part of my record, right? Well, our kids are doing these wonderfully interesting social networking things like Twitter and like Plurk and like Facebook. They're journaling their lives as they go, and that's interesting. But a digital legacy is going to be the sum total of everything you've ever said when you put yourself on the record. So moms and dads, this can be scary, but it also can be kind of amazing in a way, as if you could sort of journal your life for the record. Think about our time. I mean, how did we journal our lives? Could we journal our lives? Our best friends knew our story. We wrote on the bathroom wall, but by and large, most of our daily thoughts were just gone, right? I mean, if you can remember them, great, but they're largely gone. So there may be some interesting things we can do to help kids do positive things with these powerful things, but we should have a conversation. We should start talking to our kids. And I think to understand something like Twitter, you have to do Twitter. You just have to do Twitter. I mean, if you're gonna let your kids do it, you have to do it. You have to understand it. I believe that. So the things you say on Twitter might be, eating sandwich, bread is remarkably dry. Tweet, 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 tweet. What does that mean? It's just part of your life, part of what you're journaling. Now, you probably wouldn't journal just anything. I mean, inane details, minutiae about your life is safe stuff to put probably out there. Talking about your personal feelings about a boyfriend probably isn't. That's probably diary material. Well, if we don't talk to our kids about the difference between talking and oversharing, then they're going to just do what they do. And I think you got to start that conversation early. Start talking about what we say in public versus what we say at the house, or what we say to a best friend versus what we publish online, because it's out there and it echoes over and over and over again, right? So let's say I Google you, and I start reading your tweets. Okay, and if you don't know what Twitter is, it's been on Oprah. You have to learn, okay? Go figure it out. What it is, in a nutshell, is microblogging, thought casting, okay? But I'll let you go kind of discover that, all right? So I Google you, and I start reading about your life, and I find out that you got a job in Seattle, and it wasn't easy. And then I see you start talking about your boss, and you're frustrated with him. You think he's a jerk, and then one night you actually call him a name on Twitter. It's on the record, okay? It's on the record. It's out there, Googleable, by your boss. I mean, that's just common sense, right? There's some things you say to your friend and some things you say to the world. And just because he's not on Twitter this week doesn't mean he's not going to be there next week, or that your next boss isn't going to Google you and find out you were a total jerk talking about your boss in public, and he doesn't want to be the catch of the day. Do you understand? That's common sense. Digital common sense. The only way to figure that out is to do these things. While you're on Twitter watching your friends make these mistakes, then you start saying, I'm going to talk to my kid about that. I want to make sure they don't do that thing. So imagine your kid joins a sports program at college, and he's talking about the coach. I mean, the same thing applies. Maybe it's your 8th grader, and he's talking about his teacher on the record. Now, 2 years later, he's going to realize he was the jerk, not the teacher. But in the meantime, he said all these things. Does he want to be responsible for all those things for the rest of his life? Now, by the same token, if I Google you and find out that you're a good person, that you always try to do good things, that you're always up to the very best of intentions, I'm going to hire you. See the difference? Sharing the part of your life you're proud of, and maybe not the part of your life you're not proud of, or you won't be proud of in the future. I think it's important that we have conversations with our kids about designing intentionally their digital legacy, the things that are Googleable about them, whether it's on Twitter or Facebook or MySpace. Wherever it's archived, I think we need to be cognizant of the fact that it's going to be available for people to read for a very long time. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.